The SpaceX IPO, the largest IPO in history, is set to release tomorrow. This is going to be a highly euphoric event, and I wanted to talk about what to expect from this event if you have never experienced this before. We also had President Trump today come on and do his taco trade, saying we are no longer bombing Iran and that the market shot up from that. Hopefully you manage your trades well today. If you are trading in the stock market, there's been a lot of beautiful trades to the downside for put options or sells in the futures market. But now it's time to reassess, stay neutral, chill out for a little bit because we have a major event next week, which is our first Fed meeting with the new Fed chair. Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Dr. B. If you've never been here before, I want to give a quick update in today's video before tomorrow. Probably will live stream it here on YouTube. I will be inside of my community in Leverage University trading, but I'll probably take the trading day off just to let the dust settle. But I will be watching to see how price moves with this new SpaceX IPO. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Thank y'all so much for tuning into the channel. If you give me a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, that'd be absolutely wonderful. There's a lot of you that aren't yet subscribed, but you're watching the videos continuously. That would mean the world to me. We're on the road to that 5,000 mark and then 10,000 beyond. So thank y'all so much for the support. So here, just a simple summary. I'm not going to read all these things out for you. Utilizing AR to our advantage, just to give you a simple summary so I don't have to yap around here. But SpaceX, obviously Elon Musk making him a trillionaire up to this point based on the valuation of SpaceX, which is at that 1.77 trillion based off of TradingView and other resources. We have an amount raised, 75 billion, largest amount ever, surpassing previous records. This is the largest IPO ever. Retail access higher than usual. They're making some exceptions with this IPO, obviously from Elon being the spearhead towards this and the figurehead. Rightfully around 30%, allowing retail to get in at the IPO price if you're allocated that and you applied for it either with Robinhood, your Fidelity, your Charles Schwab, your JP Morgan, your Webull, whatever it is that you were allowed to kind of get that pre-IPO allocation. And if you're assigned those shares at that 135, or maybe they delay it and you're higher in price, whatever it may be, this is going to be an interesting event for everybody. Available through brokers like Fidelity, minimum cash balance, so on and so forth, key details, structure. You can read all that and screenshot it. Now, the craziest thing is the latest check official source like the SEC filing of the NASDAQ. It should, don't quote me on this, but if it's true, I do believe I researched this and seen it, but let me know down below in the comments. I do believe it's going to be automatically enrolled into the NASDAQ. So the QQQ is already going to be associated with the NASDAQ. So that is also a completely different just thing that is just makes this event even more special. All right. So that is a quick summary. Now, what I will say about this before we jump into the charts and what happened with the taco trade, i.e. President Trump kind of coming back off of his bombings of Iran, is that if you are completely new to trading, completely new to the stock market within the last year or so, what I mean by completely new is that you are more active. You're watching videos like this. You're trying to make money in the markets, either with trading or you're trying to figure out how to make money with your shares, and you're actively in it. Okay. And you've never been active on an IPO listing like this. Okay. Please be mindful. I'm going to show you on the charts here. Perfect example of that recently is I'll show you some examples of what a IPO can look like. Okay. This is Circle. All right. Circle was a highly anticipated IPO coming out. This came out, as you can see, 2025, June 30th of last year. We opened the price of the IPO at $68. It spiked down quickly to 64, and it went for the entirety of the month of July, or just technically this June, all the way to 298 and then sold off. Well, dang, Brian, that's what's going to happen with SpaceX? You don't know, right? But this is probably one of the most euphoric charts that I can show you current present day of something that could possibly happen. Now, we know that we have a little bit different scenario here because it is Elon. However, even with Elon, we need to still do research on the company. Doesn't matter who the CEO is. The company still has to produce profits. It has to have use cases. People have to believe in what they're doing. They have to see profit margins. They have to see revenue, growth, earnings, like all those things have to start coming in. And you can see here that if someone bought this IPO anywhere in between here and did not take profits, they are down. Okay. Unless you got allocated right at the open at $68, you are down. Okay. So if you are allocated, this is not to tell you what to do as far as financial advice. This is not financial advice. But if you do get allocated shares, you have to discern and decide, am I holding this SpaceX for the long term because I believe in it? And I think whatever Elon's doing, he did it with Tesla, he can do it again. Then do as you please. It doesn't matter what price you get in. You think it's going to be higher than whatever price it is the first month that it comes out. Okay. If you're a person that's trying to make money immediately, all right, with shares, be mindful that take your profits if you want to. Like if you have a couple of shares allocated and you're like, man, I just kind of want to take some profits and hold a little bit, do you? All right. That's your objective. Everyone has a different objective in the stock market. And number three, for my options people out there that's never experienced this option, you're like, man, I'm going to trade options on it tomorrow. No, you are not. Options are not available on IPOs typically until about a week or so after the IPO. So if you look, where's the options to trade on? You're not going to find it. Okay. So understand that as well. Okay. So those are couple of points about how to participate in this, because there will be people that don't understand it that will be participating. Okay. And that's where people lose money. All right. My plan, I have not or do not plan to get allocated any shares on this IPO until after the dust settles, until I can see structure, research the company's fundamentals, financials a little bit more, look and see if do I even want to own this company, right? People think, oh, that's crazy. It's Elon, right? Still, okay? So that is the interesting thing about this IPO here, and there's that circle chart. Now, let me jump into a different chart. Let's look at Palantir, okay? Here's a different chart here on Palantir I shared with my community today, where it took a little bit longer for this to curl back down. But yet again, if someone did not take profits or decided that they wanted to hold for the long term because they believed in Palantir and their use case, then it didn't matter if they held at 45 and never sold. They were just down, right? It went from 45 at the highs all the way down to $5, and people maybe panic sold because now it's underneath the IPO price. So it got underneath the $10 price that it IPO'd over the course of this is a monthly chart, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, about a couple of years, right? And I don't even know why I was counting there. IPO to 2020, there's 2022, right? So a couple of years you're waiting for Palantir to prove its point that you believe in the company, right? So it varies from time to time, but if you bought IPO at Palantir, you are sitting pretty at 200, even at 132. Right. But the time, in my opinion, to invest into it, which is where I was looking at it, is right when it started breaking structure back up into the IPO break, which was right at $10 and then $12, and start looking at that structure support where you can actually have enough data to support it, which was right there at that $15 mark. Reclaim that. And now we've got takeoff. Right. So inside of Leverage University, that is where we started buying Palantir more actively and aggressively. Some of you may come on here as like, well, I was buying Palantir at 5. But from a structural standpoint, to prove it was true is to break structure, start changing direction on a higher time frame monthly, which was right around in here. All right. So there's another example of an IPO. Now, here's a one that I personally did. Let's do Reddit, actually. Here's another example of an IPO off open. Okay. IPO open right here. It opens at $46, pops up very quickly in the first month, 75, sells off to 37, and then runs. Okay. So again, in my opinion, Reddit was proven to be a company that people use that platform every day. Maybe you use it, maybe you don't, but it was proven that this was going to be ideally higher than $50 per share, just based off the merit of Reddit and its use case. So that made sense of just buying the IPO and holding, and maybe you got an average price better than the opening. But if you can get an opening print average cost lower than the opening IPO. I think that is on a solid company. In my opinion, if SpaceX can fall below anywhere $100, if it can IPO at 135 and jump up to 300, then fall back underneath 100, I think that would be beautiful, right? I think that would be great, personally. So, just my 2 cents there. There's the SpaceX example. Now, really quick before we leave, let's talk about the overall market and give some levels, because the taco trade happened today with President Trump, i.e., he just said, hey, the bombings are going to halt for now. But the key thing to pay attention to is that he did not, Iran came back and said, we have not come to a deal. The deal is not done. So he can stop bombing us, but we have not agreed upon anything yet. But we know that there's always something up people's sleeves. So where we combat this is just trust the charts. Okay. So what I want you to not get faked out on tomorrow or into next week is we want to see how this week finishes up into this daily 20 moving average. I also have the daily EMA 21. Okay, these are these light blue lines. So into this zone here is heavy, heavy resistance where sellers were heavily present. So as buyers are pushing this here, right, because of the news event, and again, this could have been just a news driven squeeze. So after you get sentiment news driven squeezes like this, meaning it's just squeezing up through those stop loss areas that people were short. If you were short here with puts or sells, where's your stop loss? Break of structure. So that's when, if it happens so quickly, stop losses that people have on big money algorithms, they get ran and it squeezes and they stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out. That's when those momentum moves start happening in one direction. Same thing that happened here, right? If you're a buyer, you did not want, number one, this 740 to break. So that broke, stop losses get ran. You did not want this 732 to get, broken or ran through. There you go. Squeezes, flushes down through there. And then we start building a base, working our way back up. But this is still technically a lower high. Okay. So we want to watch this here. Make sure, if you're a visual person, doesn't do this. Okay. Doesn't do something like that. All right. Now, from a bullish case, what would you want to see? You would want to see two different things. And I'll just do SPY for now. You can look at Qs the same way. Mark your daily moving averages. Okay. If you don't know how to set those up, I'll link a video at the end of this channel, at the end of this video, excuse me. What you want to see is a higher low being formed. Okay. We got equal lows at 725. It came very close to that daily 50. Okay. That is somewhat of a trend right there. So what we want to see is we want to see this level ideally hold up. Okay. Now I can mark it two different levels, which would be 735 and 732. Okay. That is that zone. So what can happen is we can push up into here, pull back into this zone, hold that. And if we hold that, then that's a higher low. Okay. Now, if we break back underneath 735, then that is just a fake out news event and we are going lower like planned. Okay. Well, Brian, what if that doesn't happen? What if we just blast through? Yes, we can do that. We can go higher through those moving averages, break back above, but look left, right? I still want to see it close solidly on an hourly time frame. And you can now take a break and a retest. And now we're going there, back to all-time highs. All right. So a couple of different scenarios, but all in all, I can't tell you here on YouTube what to do because you're not yet inside of our community. Or if you are in a community somewhere where you're live trading or you're learning with someone, that is where we talk actively as the market is moving. So all I'm going to be doing is watching this area tomorrow along with SpaceX to see how the market reacts. Same thing on Qs. Watching this area into this daily 20 heavy resistance, 718, 720, okay, 713. See how we react. Okay, do we reject very hard and aggressively overnight, or do we get through it? All right. So you can do that on every single stock. that is available. Mark your daily moving averages and react off of those. Do not get horned up on the upside too quickly after a news driven squeeze. All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. The link is down below to join us inside of our live trading analyst level. If you want more information, you can also just join Leverage University. We'll message you with a special link to get a discount off of the live trading sessions. We've been doing absolutely amazing inside of our sessions, so we'd love to have you soon enough. If you're just hanging out here on YouTube for now, we just got done with our weekly masterclass series here where we talked about all those things. I get to ask questions, learning how to trade, but just want to share again our wins for the day. Shout out to Ben, right? Shout out to Sherry for taking NVIDIA puts today. And then those are my wins from IWM, Google, and then Apple today on the downside before the squeeze. So yes, did consider more downside, but managed risk, got out before the squeeze. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Until next time, peace, love, and blessings. Y'all have a blessed one. Okay. Bye.